Sure. So I think I should introduce myself first, but hi, my name is Pranavi. I'm a senior at Centennial High School in Frisco, like I just mentioned. So I started my project a couple years ago, and it's called Kindness for All. And so through Kindness for All, what we want to do is empower other youth members in the community, and pretty much nationwide actually, to tap into their inner superpower of kindness to, really go out and improve the community while improving themselves. Because I found that kindness is one of those things that really helps both people, the person receiving the kindness as well as the person, doing the act of kindness, because it has a lot of mental health benefits. So that's really amazing. But it can also really just be a way for younger people to get involved in the community. It's a really easy way to, try to, leave your impact on the community whenever you can, really. So it's about raising that awareness about, having younger people step up in their community and really use their inner leadership powers to leave their impact on the community. So far we've had over 100 events. And so each week we have different projects that we involve, younger kids as well as, high schoolers in our community in. And so they target different kinds of audiences in our community. So we've had projects where we, empower women facing breast cancer, or we try to promote educational literacy, all through simple acts of kindness. So far we have around 500 volunteers, both locally in the Dallas area as well as nationally. And I think that just started almost a couple months ago, when we had a pretty big news feature with Live with Kelly and Ryan. And so after that, we started getting a lot of volunteers nationally, but we are definitely pretty much based in Dallas. So we have a lot of volunteers from here. And so we just try to put out events that people of all ages can participate in to, really help their community as well as help themselves. So yeah. Yeah, so I've always been really passionate about the power of kindness. So as a child, I've moved around 17 times, which is a lot. And so with each of those moves, I've definitely learned the importance of kindness and how much of an impact it can have on somebody's life. And even if it's something small, like, saying hi to somebody in the hallway, or, giving them a little encouraging note, it can really have a huge difference on, their self-confidence and mental health. So definitely that's where I got inspired about helping other people, tap into their inner superpower of kindness. So during a couple years ago, I realized that a lot of kids in my community, high schoolers and middle schoolers, didn't really know about the power of kindness, and they didn't really see themselves as people who could, really leave such a big impact on their community. So that's when I was inspired to start Kindness Bar. I really wanted people to have that opportunity to, look at how they can impact the community firsthand, as well as see the impact kindness can have. So whenever they do these projects or actions, whether it's writing cards for other people, or packaging tea bags for compassion packages or stuff like that, they really have the opportunity to get engaged themselves and really see the impact they can have. And so that was a thought process behind starting it. So we started with around 20 volunteers, but as I told you before, it picked up. And so now we have around 500. And so we regularly conduct projects that people engage with and, really try to make the world a better place. It's definitely had a huge impact, I think. But the biggest impact we've had is that it's created a ripple effect. One act of kindness leads to the other. And I think we've definitely seen, especially on a local level, an increase in people being compassionate towards each other, as well as an increase in the number of leadership initiatives taken by other students. I think seeing that, I can participate in these projects, I can have a firsthand impact, and, I can really come up with these opportunities to help other people. It's led to a lot more high schoolers and middle schoolers starting initiatives of their own to, really branch out and really make kindness the norm. So that's one of the biggest impacts. But we've also just been able to impact a lot of people through our projects, almost 50,000 now. And so whether it's the birthday boxes for people at the local food pantry, or just encouragement letters for women with breast cancer, or just writing little stickers of kindness and putting them in Disney books. I think we've been able to donate around 10,000 of those to local Title I elementary schools. We just want to perpetuate the idea of kindness and just really make it something that a lot of people are comfortable with, but also something that they try to share themselves. So that's been our biggest impact. Yeah. Wow, that's a really good question. There have definitely been lots of parts of the project with Kindness for All that I've enjoyed, but it's definitely seeing the impact that, one act of kindness can really have, and seeing it branch out as more kids start their own initiatives and, really start involving themselves in the community and making it a regular part of their lives. I think that's the most satisfactory part of the entire process. I think it's been really amazing to see people really give back to their community as well as understand that they can be leaders even at a young age. And that's something that's super inspiring. And it's definitely something that is something that I really cherish. So yeah. Definitely learning, something I've learned is how to conduct a project. So when I started, I kept things pretty small, but as the projects began to grow and the number of people we've involved and the number of people we've impacted, I definitely learned a lot about how to conduct an activity and, being really specific with where you want the event to take place and the exact instructions of what you want to happen. I think learning all of that stuff is something that's really valuable, especially growing older, where I'm going to have to conduct more events like this in the future. Knowing how to conduct it, make sure it goes smoothly, as well as having a plan and a backup plan and just having clear cut instructions for what I want and like a vision for each event. I think that's definitely been the most important thing during this process. Definitely it's helped me become a better leader, that's for sure. I mean, working with all these other people in the community and partnerships with different organizations, I really learned how to be a professional but still be a leader at the same time, how to involve my community in all that I do and really put myself forward and make sure that I'm embodying my personal mission and values at all times, which is treating people with kindness. So yeah, it's personally impacted me in a lot of ways. Yeah, definitely in terms of leadership. I've learned to be a stronger leader, a better communicator, as I mentioned before, with planning out events, as well as just being a stronger individual in my community and having an opportunity to give back on a larger scale. So yeah. So as I mentioned before, one of my biggest interests is kindness, but another one of my biggest interests is actually mental health. I'm really passionate about helping young people, especially like teenagers and like, high schoolers, take care of their mental health, because I know that's something that gets like pushed to the back burner a lot of times. And it's really important to take care of ourselves mentally because it is that mental strength that helps us be confident and really achieve our goals in the future. So part of my idea with Kindness for All was to really help people improve their mental health in a quick and easy manner that they could participate in almost anywhere actually. And so what I learned through my research is that kindness can actually have a lot of impacts on mental health. It actually reduces cortisol as well as anxiety and blood pressure, all of which can help you feel a lot better emotionally. And it promotes the hormone oxytocin, which can obviously make you a lot happier. So I think with that, that's what I really want to do on top of just spreading kindness, really helping mental health, and connecting those two together in my project has been really interesting so far. Definitely thinking about how I can keep this going. I'm going to be going to college soon. I'm not sure where, but depending on where I'm going to go, I really want to, I've been thinking about how I want to branch out my project a little bit more, thinking about how we could have maybe separate chapters or, because right now it's been pretty unified with like a strong base just here in Dallas, but I am thinking about how I can expand it to different locations so we can involve even more people, as well as just how I can expand what I have and maybe, create something where I can help mentor younger students who want to create their own projects. So that's been something else I've been thinking about and hopefully something I'm going to implement in the coming years. So yeah. There are definitely improvements that I can do. As I mentioned before, thinking about ways to connect more youth to my project, definitely something I'm thinking about. Um, and helping accelerate, young leaders and like giving them that opportunity to maybe try out their own project or possibly lead an initiative within Kindness for All. So they have that opportunity to see what it feels like to lead an event, because from my experience, that's probably the most valuable thing that I've gotten out of it, learning how to lead. And I think maybe if I could do that, a lot of people would have, a step-by-step process almost in which they can develop their inner leadership without having to jump in fully. So that's something I want to do, where I can help involve them. And so that's definitely a future improvement that I'm going to be working on.